Thank you very much.
So Mike, just retired from Albany after 21 years. He's been done with Albany, but wasn't done being a cop, and I've known him since we went to high school together. I was in his wedding, I was like, you can come work for me. Last 8 years, he's assigned to the FBI task force, so he has a lot of experience and connections and will be a great addition to Scotia.
Welcome, thrilled to have you. So, hey, George, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah. Yeah, who asks that?
Absolutely. Let you know.
Two of the three of them, and then I'll have it done.
Right. Yeah, I'll get on your private.
Let me know, I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
They still work.
Yeah, I have a 17 and 16-year-old too.
I can't come in for you. Want to get in there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Of course.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I thought you.
No, got it. It's all set.
I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of my face.
Monday, I don't do.
You're gonna take another one, man.
Oh, I'm not.
Get on it, ready?
Nice. Period.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go like this.
We need the no move.
2, 3.
No problem.
Thank you, everybody.
Please, thank you.
Thank you. You guys,
Well, thank you so much.
of course. All right. That's crazy. World is so small. Well, small, but he is small too. That's wild. Last fucker, showed up in the FBI. It's crazy. I wouldn't have been able to pick him out of a lineup. You know what I mean?
So tonight, there's two hearing and privileges of court. The first one is a regular hearing and privilege of court, and the second one will be related to the public hearing on the local law authorizing a property tax levy. I have Megan and Tad, you both wanted to speak to the general privilege before? Okay. So Megan?
Hello, my name is Megan Rogers. Today is actually the 14th anniversary of my husband's buying. I'm speaking today in support of the municipal resolution supporting this year's Schenectady County Food Council at program priorities in New York State Legislature. My husband and I volunteer for the Rotterdam Community Center, and we've seen firsthand how more and more of our neighbors cannot afford to put food on their tables, and the Food Council's goals to fully fund HPNAP and Nourish New York at $75 million each would strengthen emergency food programs at a time that support is needed, and also raising the SNAP minimum food benefit from only $24 a month to $100 a month, that funds directly to the pockets of our neighbors who suffer the most amidst the food affordability crisis. $2 million of funding for food priority councils would ensure voices from across New York State are included in improving our local food system. And thanks for your time and considering that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Pat.
is Ted Nesky, 503 Trail Street, the village, right on the line. I haven't been here lately and I haven't seen anything about the Sunnyside, road bridge. What's going on with that?
I can answer you that we were waiting for a final word from our consultant. I got it. We are sending a letter out to the community this week. That's giving you an update.
Okay. Second, what about, parking on the street overnight? Well, there was talk about lifting that code where you can't park between 3 and 6 on this street. And I was wondering, is it still against the village code to park on the street between 3 and 6?
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with it, but.
Well,
we do still have-
let me just say why I asked that question. My neighbor got another car. He's been parking on the street overnight for the last 5 weeks, and even in the snow. And one day when the town plowed, they were nice enough to leave a big snow pile in front of my driveway. Okay? And it's been, just ridiculous. He doesn't shovel the sidewalk, he doesn't mow the lawn and that, but he's been parking on the street for the last 5 weeks at least.
That's the question,
Sure.
you said town.
The town
You mean
plows,
town- you
the
mean
town plows both, village and the town. The village does a better job than plowing when they get down.
So
The town,
I
the town
recommend
plows that far away from the, well, what would be a curb?
I just want clarification.
should,
Right on the county, right on the village county.
I recommend giving a call to the chief. He can give you the backup on when things are going to, with our new, parking system, okay? Chief of Police, I'm sorry.
Mayor, if I may, it's important to know where that line is, because if he is working on the street that's over the village line in as a town, and it's the
No,
area where
it's in
the
the
town plow is,
Yeah.
it may not actually be something.
Right, that's why I want to talk to the chief, so we don't go back and forth.
There's 3 houses here, 501, 503, 505.
So Ted, I'd reach out to Chief out there and
And one other thing, how comes we don't have a grant to change the water line from the main to the shut off box, curb box, like the town does?
we will take it under consideration.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. With that, I'm gonna close the, hearing privilege of the floor and, move to number 4 to open the public hearing on the local law 2026-1. Anyone want to address the board? I have no one. Stay on. Okay. I need a resolution.
Right, I'll make a motion. Make a motion to adopt proposed local law 2026-1 related to property tax levy in excess of the limit established in general municipal law, Article 3, Section C.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I think, go ahead, Justin, you're probably gonna beat me to it.
So I want to make it very clear to folks here and at home that this is a part of a state requirement that will allow this board to consider all options of a municipal budget. If we were not to take this standard practice, we would not be able to consider budgets that exceeded the tax cap, which based upon historic review and the current bond payments that was discussed well in advance of and voted on and affirmed by the residents of the village of Scotia, would result in significant cuts in level of services. So in order for this board to be able to do its work, we need to establish this local law so that we can responsibly look at a variety of different scenarios.
It is not a commitment.
It is not a commitment to go over, and then I will save the rest of mine for when I explain my.
Trustee Solo Truck. Yes, no?
Yes.
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 Yes. In explaining my vote, I want to make it very clear to this board that, you know, I do understand and recognize the fiscal challenges that do exist within the village. We have village residents who rely on services, and the bond payment that is coming up is a critical piece of our infrastructure where our village services would not be deliverable if we did not make that initial investment. With that said, I believe that we need to take due note of the parts of the budget that are not related to the municipal facilities project, pull those out and scrutinize as much as we possibly can. When I first ran for village board, I said we must preserve the services that we rely on, but at the same time, respect what people can afford. At a time of growing expenses and stretching of things on household budgets, you know, we need to start looking at taxes as an impact on affordability.
Next on the agenda is number 6.
I'll make a motion authorizing the mayor sign proposal with KB Engineering and Architecture PC to provide professional engineering services related to the Village of Scotia MS4 program assistance in an amount not to exceed $53,900.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. I'm sorry, I wanted to, this has there is a lot of new requirements with MS4, and that has put a burden on,
Do you want to explain what MS4 is for our guests?
Mr. Cook, I know this is your favorite reading.
So MS4 is a state program for municipalities of a certain density that require stormwater management. So all our stormwater sewers need to be monitored for obviously pollutants, because that stormwater and elements eventually make their way into the Mohawk River, the watershed, as well as the aquifer.
So we have to study this.
We are an MS4 community by density, so this is now a permit that we get. It's also, as was described at our work session, a cumulative permit. So we are now in a certain step, and therefore we need to take this next step.
3 of 5. And I turned it to Mr. Cook because he likes to read the MS4 report every year.
With such a dramatic voice.
Next is number 7.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Bellamy Construction Company change order number 1 in the amount of $5,558.14 related to the corrosion control project.
I'll second.
Any questions on this?
Just pointing out to our guests that this has to do with the information that we've been communicating about lead levels in service lines, which again are the lines from the street to your house. But the corrosion control project has to do with putting certain or potentially putting certain additives at the source that will reduce the level of corrosion that happens even from the street to your house. So that's what you see corrosion control studies or corrosion control projects. That's to determine what the best course of action would be to help reduce the level of corrosion, again, from the street to people's homes.
Thank you. I'm going to move to number 5 because although we gave the oath of office, we need to appoint.
Make the motion.
We just need to vote.
Make a motion to appoint Michael Fargione to the position of part-time police officer.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now can we vote on the number 7 for the corrosion control? George?
Yes.
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 Justin?
Yes.
Make a motion to resolution in connection with the Village of Scotia's determination of non-significance pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, Seeker Regulations 6 NY Charlie Romeo Part 617.
Can I get a second?
One second.
Any questions on this? Trustee Coe,
Yes.
Gray. Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Solotrunk.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Next is approval of the Scotia District Management Association.
I'll make a motion approving the Scotia District Management Association, Inc. fiscal year 26-27 budget in the amount of $39,370.
One second.
Any questions?
Does this include the increased amount that they've requested?
6250 is in the letter on the SharePoint.
So this includes the 6250?
Yes. You like to table this for further review.
I would like to make a motion to table this review until further discussion and analysis on the implications on the village's property tax cap.
I'll second.
We will take that up on Monday's work session.
Do we need to vote to table it? I seconded, but do we need to
Yes,
vote?
all
to
in
table it?
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Let me just make a note. Okay. Next is to authorize the mayor to sign agreement.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to authorize the mayor. Party. Combined services agreement related to retirement bill.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize payment 32 to CHA in the amount of $5,926.22 for engineering services related to the Sunnyside Road Bridge.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize payment number 33 to CHA in the amount of $29,587.83 for engineering services related to the Sunnyside Road Bridge.
One second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
So just a reminder, correct me if I'm wrong, these are all within the project and they're not additional as of yet, right? They're not, there's no change orders that are.
Correct.
Yep.
These are all within the budget.
They are, but have not received the reimbursement from the city here. They keep telling us checking it, you're gonna see it in the next 2 days. It's been again over a month. We haven't received a reimbursement since November 24th. And I submitted one a year ago and still haven't seen it, so.
Should we go sit on their desk?
Is this a federal grant?
This is a
But
federal
on
grant
the
that comes-
DOT, if the money flows.
Passed through.
Have they received?
I was gonna bring this up during the mayor's comments, but if I'm going to reach out to DOT, at least to find out if they've gotten the money. If they've gotten the money, then we can put some pressure in other ways to get the money. But
Right, if they have it from the feds, yeah.
We can't do a whole lot.
I'll make a resolution to waive park use fees for the Scotia Glenville Lions Club 5K Race Walk fundraiser.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I'll make a motion to approve vending and alcohol sales in the park related to the Animal Protective Foundation application.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to surplus police vehicles as outlined in memo from police chief.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Number 16.
I'll make a motion to amend FY 25-26 budget to increase F 9060 .8300 medical dental by 12,000, offset by F 1,000.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. This next one, you all did get a memo from the chief on.
I'll make a resolution to accept a quote from Upstate Plow and Body Work in the amount of $25,604.84 for upfitting EMS vehicle.
One second.
Any questions on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
like to make a motion to authorize clerk treasurer to issue RFQ for engineering services related to drinking water system improvements, DWSRF, and wastewater collection and or treatment improvements, CWSRF.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? George, you always propose.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the departmental report.
I'll second.
Any questions on the department reports? Thank you, fellas and ladies, for your.
All right.
Mayor's report. Just a few things. As I said, we had not gotten reimbursement from DOT, so I've been going to reach out to them. I'm not sure they got the money, but we're going to ask anyways. 3 grants, I'll start in the 2 that we know we have gotten. The Congressman Tonko grant, we're in the process of determining how much certain projects would cost, and then we can make some decisions as to what projects we'd be able to afford. The BOA pre-development is about ready for us to kick into. That is the engineering report that we need for New York for the streetscapes project. And New York Forward grants are being announced as we speak. Central region and northern region have been already awarded. I called today and was told that we would be notified soon our status. The capital district is coming. So the governor made the decision this time to roll them out one at a time, as opposed to the full. I have a couple of new business items that I will hold till then. I know it's been a long day, so. Why don't we start, Heather, with you,
I did speak with the chief. We're gonna go ahead and schedule a traffic safety meeting and we will further discuss overnight parking issues that are agenda discussed. I'm privileged with the board today. Gonna update the board.
I was waiting for you to get back.
Okay.
Before the next meeting.
Great. Next meeting, I'll have an update. I also want to thank Congressman Tonko. Bill says I'm shooting that $500,000 grant. I'm sure that we will use that grant to great success and the betterment of our village of Scotia. So thank you very much. Did I have anything
good, thank you.
else?
No problem. I'm gonna go to Trustee Brown, go back and forth.
On the zoning board of appeals, we met last week to talk about the Scotia Manor project on Wallace Street. Very good discussion, full house with residents. The few items of note where most of their concerns were addressed by the developers in terms of hours of operation, traffic, parking, and those items. The one major sort of unaddressed issue was the stop sign at the corner of Wallace and Fifth. And the proposal was to explore the option of making that a 3-way stop instead of a 2-way stop with potential increased traffic for those apartments. As people might recall, the previous residents of that building, many of them did not have vehicles, were not sort of regular drivers around the village. And so the concern is that there might be an increase in that. So I would just recommend that the traffic safety committee take that up as a priority at their next meeting. There was a lot of interest in that. Other than that, and both of the variances that they requested, one was in terms of a variance on zoning approved uses of the property. Weirdly enough, that property was zoned single family residential, even though that it was that supported living facility there. And so that was granted to allow for multi-unit dwellings. And then they have one unit in there that needed a variance on the size of the apartment because they couldn't move some of the infrastructure of the building. So that was also approved. On the special event side of things, our special events guidelines are up on the website. I know that people have been looking at it because I've been emailing that to several people. So that's good. And then it sounds like we're going to have a meeting with the committee planning the parade potentially as soon as tomorrow, if we can confirm that. So that should be proceeding. And I don't think I have anything to add on the fire side. I'm all set. Thank you.
George?
Planning didn't meet this month, so not much to report there. Glad to hear the zoning was well attended for that property. Both Trustee Brown and I live near that property, so it's really great to see some of the plans they have for it. So to have it be used instead of abandoned, refitted to look better rather than just sitting there looking like a block building, I think is going to be a wonderful thing. Also, our municipal facilities project we're still on track to be kind of right at the end of the month with occupation of the building. Mayor informed me that the elevator was delivered today, so that's good. And hopefully a few of our April meetings will be in the new place. That's a hope, but there probably will still be some work going on the outside of the building after we occupy it, but it's been a long time coming, and having been involved since the beginning in the committee to kind of choose that site, it's nice to see that our employees will have appropriate spaces to work. So glad to see that come into fruition and be relatively on time and definitely under the budget. So other than that, happy to see a new restaurant in the village. The mayor says he's well, there's the Perkin Panini. Is it open? I don't think that's open.
The
Panini's
open, right?
open, yeah.
The meeting place opens
stealing
April 1st.
Oh, April
Okay,
1st,
great.
sorry.
Yeah. Those are people that live close to us as well. So it's great to see residents giving back to the community and, thriving. And then, like I said, the mayor attended the Halal Brothers recently, and I have yet to get there, but that's in my plan for the near future. Other than that, it's great to see a lot of people here too. So thank you for coming.
Right.
And I know
So the
you
bid
take
report.
it as well.
The bid report, obviously, the bid is welcoming. Currently open, the Halal Brothers. They are an amazing kind of Mediterranean halal, Middle Eastern cuisine. Their falafel gyro is amazing. I highly recommend it. Chicken smelled amazing. I was there with the vice president of the bid at the time, who was also welcoming them to the neighborhood. Adrian from Nibelnosh. So it's like a perfect trifecta of falafel and cook right directly across the street from one another. Opened not long ago. It's obviously amazing braising, a great gift shop as you kind of look. Perkin Panini, which is going to be a great little breakfast to lunch bistro, not too far from the Mohawk Tap Room, will be opening up mid to late April. That is going to be a great addition. I know a lot of people have been wanting another like coffee shop type place, and that'll be the place to go. You may know the owners who are actually making their American dream come true. One of the owners is a bartender at Mohawk Tap Room. So it's great to see how businesses are supporting one another within the bid. You folks may not know that right behind Bert and Panini is actually a floral wholesaler who relocated his business from Brooklyn to wonderful Scotia. It's called Capital District Flowers. So you can actually order arrangements online. So that's another business that has come into the village. And I can't wait to see these thrive. So be sure to get out there and support these local businesses. The bid is going to be doing a St. Patrick's Day promotion. So keep an eye out on gotoscotia.com for that, as well as their social media handles on Facebook, Instagram. In terms of the police, the police liaisonship, they spent time onboarding for electronic parking that'll help the officers enforce the overnight parking issues that we may have, but also hopefully be able to help with the parking along Mohawk Ave and in the park as well. There was a rollout of scheduling software that was used by the police department, now is being used village-wide, which is going to be incredible efficiency. I would like to welcome, I am so going to mispronounce his name, so I apologize. Officer Michael Argione. To the force, it's great to have him on board, have someone with such experience, both at the FBI and Albany PD, on our staff, and folks will be able to see him as he walks around the village. Our police chief also hosted the regional chiefs conference here in the village of Scotia. So thank you for doing that. It was great to have all the region chiefs in our little town. Part of what they did this month too is go through evidence room training. And I can't wait for the police department to be able to move into the new building where they will finally have a safe station for themselves, as well as victims and also those in custody. That'll include a brand new evidence storage area, which will really help with investigations and safety as well. With regards to the school district, obviously there is a school district who's going through closing up school. It's not easy for anyone. That does impact village residents. Many of our children who live in the Groveland neighborhood of off Banker Ave go to Glen Wharton. So I think as a village, I'd like to encourage us to try to find ways to work with the school district to ensure a transition as more students come into the village for Lincoln Elementary School, and including should there be any events in Collins Park that we consider waiving park use fees for that. If not, perhaps we as a village with our school resource officer looking to host some sort of mix or get together fun playtime, in the park as well. We passed the food insecurity resolution at our work session because we do know that it was important for it to be done quickly. So I want to thank our neighbors for coming here and bringing that to fruition, into our attention. I want to share something. The HIPNAP, the Nourish New York, as well as SNAP, have very, 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 very important impacts here in the village. Within the town of Glenville, the majority of SNAP recipients live in the village. You're also, as I mentioned in the resolution, you're a community that has one of the highest levels of households making under $25,000. Minimum SNAP benefits sometimes can be, right now it's set at $24. So a minimum $100 would go a long way. At the Fresh Table alone, we've received over 10,000 pounds of food through the HIPNAP program. From Nourish New York, we received about 5,000 pounds of food that we distributed to 60% of those neighbors living right here in the village of Scotia. Altogether, from the regional food bank, we've received and distributed 71,169 pounds of food. If that were to be purchased wholesale, it'd be a total value of over $117,000. So food insecurity exists here in the village of Scotia, exists in the town of Glenville, and I want to thank this board for sending a collective action and a collective voice to the state legislature to address these critical issues.
And we will be recognizing next month, April is Tricia. Thank you all.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the budget adjustments for the month of February.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next,
Make a motion to approve the municipal facilities project audit of claims.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes?
Make a motion to approve the audit of claims.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2026 Village Board of Trustees regular meeting.
Second.
Any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 17th, 2026 Village Board of Trustees work session.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 3rd, 2026 Village Board of Trustees work session.
Second.
Who can vote?
I was
Who
here.
can't vote?
Was I here on the third? I was here.
I'll just, oh,
I was
Okay,
here,
so all in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I was here.
That's the one I was here late, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you were here.
I was here, right, so, yeah.
George was here, so.
Stupid.
All in
weather.
favor, we got enough eyes. Thank you. New business. Couple things. One is, I would like to revisit the cost of the community garden. To see if we could minimize the increase to a smaller number. Can I have,
I'd like to make a motion to adjust the village fee schedule to reduce the community garden bed cost to $15.
Second.
any questions, comments?
Do we need to look at the whole fee schedule as a whole? Or is this the only one that we had
This was the only
comment
thing
on?
that we.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. I think you had one.
I do have one. As we proceed through the budget process, I know something that we've talked about repeatedly, but requires some action now is I would like to put in front of this board the concept of creating a shared services committee, especially with the town of Glenville that is made up of members of both communities. Given the fact that much of our budget costs are going up for things that are largely out of our control, including fuel, utilities, health insurance, other insurances, unfunded mandates by the state and federal government. We need to get really creative. And I think that leveraging and trying to figure out where things make sense for both parties with our neighbors, not limited to the town, but certainly the town is the one that makes probably the most sense in the immediate time period. So I would like to put that in front of this board as something that we should. We obviously can't approve that without having buy-in from the other party. So for now, I would like to authorize the mayor to reach out to the town of Glenville to explore that as an option.
I'll second that.
My only thing, I would like, I don't disagree with the Glenville. I would like to go get some other, the surrounding municipalities if they would like to participate as well.
We're gonna have to
And-
meet with
Yeah.
the city's gonna.
So I believe we have a motion and a second. Can we open it up for discussion?
Yes, I,
All right, I agree, we need to share, we need to explore. This has been done before in the past, and unfortunately it got mired in politics. And, so my only encouragement is that, we do this in a way that is objective, in a way that engages both parties, but to the mayor's point as well, not just one municipality border. If we're going to be talking about intermunicipal cooperation, we should also be talking about that with the city of Schenectady. We already share services with the city of Schenectady for our garbage, our wastewater treatment, and we have great mutual aid relationships with them with the fire department. So, we should be looking, not just at the town of Glenville, but the city of Schenectady, but also even some neighboring fire districts as well. So I agree with the sentiment. I think it's delicate, and I think it's going to be a conversation that should be ongoing with some great ground rules that should lead in resolutions being adopted by the city council or town boards of any of the municipalities that we work with and talk with. But this is a little ahead of the game. We actually haven't had any conversation with them ahead of time. So I'm sure every municipality is going to be hearing about this and reading about this in Daily Gazette. So
Again, I just want to be clear, it's about the mayor reaching out to explore this.
I think it's, there are great reasons to go talking about shared services as one of the options to kind of reduce the burden of, taxes on the resident. I think that's kind of why we are here, is to work for the resident, and not necessarily be influenced by any other municipality or board of people. So it's a little limiting to just say it's going to be shared services. I think we really need to kind of at least study the other opportunities to, bring some relief to the tax burden of the village. Some of them are not popular with our peers, or, certainly meet with a motivation to work on what's best for the village resident. But I encourage the board to keep the benefit to the village resident in mind, rather than the keep the village resident in mind. Rather look at all options.
Yeah.
And they certainly have names, but obviously they're not popular with some members of the board. So
I would hope that maybe a portion of our agenda, or maybe a work session, to really outline items that we would like to at least consider and work together with definitely the town of Glenville and the city of Schenectady. We do have some existing agreements, such as working with Glenville Police Department. And that's something new that we really been doing in the past, and it seems to be favorable for both the village of Scotia and the town of Glenville. Cooperation, safety component, and best interests of both village, the Glenville residents. Also, we do have shared services with parks. There's equipment sharing, so I don't want the public to be misled that there is no workability at this juncture, and careful consideration in the past that there has been an outreach. There is some level of unity and cooperation and working together. I do think that there has to be more of that. And politics aside, it really needs to be in the best interest of the village of Scotia and working with the city of Schenectady and the town of Glenville. For instance, we have a contract, as stated earlier, and the budget presentations with the city of Schenectady, our trash removal, my opinion, and the people that I speak with in Scotia, our trash collection is superb. There is, you take out whatever you need. Yard waste, our services there are outstanding in terms of our snow removal. We have excellent snow removal here in the village of Scotia. But I'm hoping that the town of Glenville board is hearing this meeting, and the board is open to ideas, and it really should be the benefit of both municipalities. In the past, there has been discussion of joining forces, so to speak, and combining the village and Glenville, and it wasn't a win for the village of Scotia. So I do think before the mayor reaches out to the supervisor, that this board should really have an outline list as to what we accomplish, so we're all on the same page, what we want to accomplish with our neighbor and hopefully it will be a benefit. Working together, and also the bottom line is in terms of, keeping our costs down for our neighbors and for ourselves, for our benefit in the upcoming years.
So I'd like to add one thing, just because I don't know if you did the motion or Keith, you did, I forgot now. I have been working on a village-wide questionnaire, so we can get feedback from the entire village. We tend to not always be able to get feedback from everyone. I'd like to bring that forward to the board on Monday for review. But I do think it's important that we make this, we don't let others dictate the doing of this. We move forward.
Mayor, I'd like to volunteer as liaison to that committee with you as well.
Again, I just want to impress upon this board that part of a committee like this is intermunicipal cooperation. You don't go into cooperative meetings of any form with a preconceived notion in mind, because at the end of the day, what might be best for the village may not be best for the town of Glenville, or the city of Schenectady. So the idea is to have a conversation, put all things on the table, discuss, talk, and move forward. With that, I'd like to think we should move to vote. Yes. Aye.
I
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bring that up. Anyone else have any new? If that.
I noticed the village special events permit legislation did not get put on the agenda to be read. It'll be on.
I just, we have so much.
How many
going on.
days till the fireworks? I just want to make sure that this is implemented in time for the summer.
Yep.
Just the agenda. Everyone can know.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to
Motion
adjourn?
to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is accepted. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Nice to see people in the room. Yes.
I think, can I talk?
It's a reach out.
Huh?
It's a reach out
And in terms of.
Okay.
to see if there's interest.
So we can draft.
I'm gonna do.
No, I heard about it, but.
Nice to see you folks. Thank you for coming in.
I'm not gonna get into.
No, and I want to- Yeah, favor, it's need.
That's.
Yeah.
You're good. Thank you.
You up?
Have a good night.